I'm never gonna keep you down.
Welcome to Over the Ledge Live, the podcast, the #1 and some say only political satire show based solely on the Texas legislature. I'm Amy Lowry, and I'm glad you're here. I almost didn't make it tonight. I had my It's Cold Out, and they didn't really do anything to fix our power grid support group meeting earlier today. And we got to talking about canned food, and I was thinking I might need one more ton of canned tuna fish to really feel secure. Over the Ledge gives you a behind-the-scenes look at the shenanigans of the Texas legislature by decoding political headlines and legislators' behavior into easy-to-understand single-ant jokes. We're just as funny, but not as famous yet. Let's meet our guest tonight. First up, we have our beloved Aaron Salinas. Aaron is an award-winning writer, director, and actor with a love for brisket, breakfast tacos, and learning to live with lactose intolerance, who frankly is always late on the rent. A native Texan, you can find Aaron listening to Selena or in the aisles of an HEB when we're not in stage 5. He is vaxxed and boosted and thinks you should be too. Please welcome Aaron Salinas.
So I'm sad because all of those things you said about the cold stuff are true. I bought boots and a snow shovel and a camping stove because I'm scared. And I'm never late on the rent. I don't know why Stephanie put that in the bio. I did not put that. She puts that. I am very paranoid and anxious about my rent, so it's never late. Okay.
Why did you put that in there?
I didn't. I think you did.
I did. No, see, she's pointing fingers. No, who's next?
It's a mystery. All right. Next, we have a wonderful comedic guest for you tonight, Katie Felton. Katie is a fresh-faced stand-up comedian from Austin, Texas. She has performed comedy professionally for the last 3 years and performs all around town at theaters, coffee shops, and breweries. When she is not doing comedy, she is stuffing her face with chips and queso while catching her friends up on the latest housewife drama. Follow her on Instagram at K8eFelts to see her next stand-up dates and desperate attempts to stay young by doing TikTok dances. Welcome, Katie.
Thanks for having me.
We're glad you're here. Our very special celebrity guest for tonight is State Representative Gene Wu from District 137 in Houston. Raised in Sharpstown, State Representative Wu stays active in improving his community. Wu has devoted countless hours tutoring at-risk youth in programs at Sharpstown High School, mentoring adults in the Skills for Living program, and conducting monthly workshops for residents seeking U.S. citizenship. He is dad to Winston and Lyndon, husband to Mia Shea, and attorney and volunteer. Welcome, Gene, to Over the Ledge.
Thank you so much. Look forward to this to be one of many life mistakes.
That's very apt. Finally, we have the creator and the ruler of the Over the Ledge empire who needs no introduction. Stephanie, toss a coin to your witcher, Chiarello.
Thank you. I hope that at least one person would get that reference. I can't get that song out of my head. Toss a coin to your witcher. You're welcome.
As always, before we hear our monologue today, we want to take a special moment to thank our sponsors. Thank you, sponsors.
Thank you.
Thank you, sponsors.
Thank you.
Everybody, please save the date. We will be back live in person September 16th through 18th, 2022 at the Long Center. Yes. Breaking news. This just in. Did your request to vote by mail get rejected? Are you confused and don't know what to do? Are you unable to get through to your local voting clerk or the Secretary of State? Don't worry, you're not alone. Travis County has rejected almost 50% of those ballot requests. But what to do? Find out Tuesday when our podcast drops on podcast platforms. Why not now? Because nobody knows how to fix it. This message brought to you by Greg Abbott, Dan Patrick, and Ken Paxton. Now it's time for What's Up in Texas with our host, Stephanie Chiarello.
Yay! Thank you. Thanks so much again. Representative Gene, you've got like a 9 out of 10 in your backdrop there. It's fantastic. Have you been rated officially by that Twitter account?
This is a 10 out of 10. Thank you.
Wow.
You. This is all my wife's doing. I had nothing to do with it. Now the camera setup and the studio setup is mine, though. Thank you.
Gosh, I understand you're a gamer.
I do play a lot of video games.
Don't just stop there. What do you play?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
I don't know if that was a
Find out his
punchline or
Twitch
not.
handle.
Oh.
All right. Texans seeking to vote by mail are facing high rejection rates due to changes caused by the new voting law. But fortunately, as a generation who uses dating apps, we've been training to embrace high rejection rates for years. Agricultural Commissioner and drunk uncle Sid Miller's campaign consultant was indicted for theft and bribery related to hemp licenses. Now, let's be blunt. Is it political retribution or just high time somebody caught on to his act? I heard the investigator goes by Bong, James Bong.
I really liked how much time you put behind "Let's be blunt." You're like, come on, someone's gonna get a laugh. That's gonna get a laugh. You left a lot of time on it.
Yep.
I'll take it.
A fight has broken out between state representatives over whether golden-cheeked warblers should be removed from Texas's endangered species list. Let's just say it's resulting in a lot of angry birds. Ah!
The blunt one was better.
All right.
Sounds like my Thanksgiving.
Jake Colblazer, a staffer to Republican gubernatorial candidate and angry hobbit Don Huffines, is under public scrutiny for his YouTube channel rants about restoring historical American culture by, quote, maintaining a supermajority of the original stock of the United States and maintaining a homogeneity, referring to white people. When asked if he would fire the staffer, Huffines replied, absolutely not. In fact, I'm promoting him to chief inspector of my new camp that concentrates on teaching minorities new things.
Ew.
Ooh. Okay, the other punchline was I'm promoting him so he doesn't defeat me in the next primary, but I wanted the darker one.
It's dark.
Am I better,
Yeah.
Tom?
Hey, look, I'm just happy they're able to read and able to like learn basic facts about history. I mean, like, you know, that's always a pleasant surprise for me in the legislature.
All right, State Rep Eddie Lucio III just announced he is retiring from office early, while his father, Senator Eddie Lucio II, already announced he will not run for re-election. Eddie III said he wants to spend more time with family, and Eddie Jr. said, wait a second, not so fast, son.
Eddie Lucio the second, he's very old, yes?
I think he's in his early 70s.
Oh, he's like Dan Patrick's best buddy, right? Or something like that, but he's a Democrat, something like that.
They're very, yes.
I wouldn't brag about that.
A new law bars trans children from sports competitions in the state. Lieutenant Governor and Dirty Wax Museum statue Dan Patrick tweeted, in Texas, we refuse to deny any woman or girl athlete the right to compete on a level playing field, unless she's asking to be paid equally for reproductive rights or something else silly and girly like that.
Silly and girly.
Silly and girly. All right. Is my mic better, Tom?
It sounds like
Just FYI, I can't hear Aaron at all.
Oh.
Oh. All right, let's pause for technical repair. What's happening, Tom?
it sounds like your mic is you're using your computer mic, you're not the mic in the monitor. You want to sound usually crystal clear.
Okay.
And Aaron, is Gene the only person who can't hear Aaron?
You've got a big echo, Tom.
I do.
Better one, better two. Better
Yeah.
one, better two. Okay, it was the same one both times, but this is better now.
I got big enough. Yeah. So Aaron, we can't hear you. Now we can. I heard is.
Is this better now?
We're like 2 years into like the pandemic, and like every day when we have like court Zooms, we're like, hey, you need to unmute your mic, dude. You need to unmute. Like, 2 years, we still haven't figured this stuff out.
That's true.
Like,
All right, I'm
okay.
going out. Have a nice to show people how 3 people that are watching.
It's not like we're trying to go to the moon or anything.
Hey, Gene, can you hear me?
I don't know.
I can hear you.
You don't hear him?
I hear.
I hear
I
him.
can hear Aaron.
Yeah.
This is a great bit. Our audience is loving this bit.
Oh, we lost one. All right. Let's. I don't know what it is. Can't hear Aaron.
Okay, go away, Tom, and
All right.
we'll fix it.
Dude,
Okay, Aaron, hello.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I can.
Oh man. Okay, we'll just repeat everything Aaron says
Well,
for
yeah.
you.
All right.
It'll be a
Okay.
funnier bit with us not being able to.
That's right. All right. And, oh, look, we lost another viewer.
Oh no.
Okay. This joke will bring people back in. Despite strong fundraising from Beto, Abbott is millions of dollars ahead in the governor's race. I guess you could say he's rolling in the dough.
But
Maybe he can use some of that money to buy paper for the Secretary of State.
Maybe. Do you
Maybe.
think? I don't know.
Because apparently we can't. The 10th largest economy in the world. The government of the 10th largest economy can't afford to buy paper.
That's the ballot thing?
Yep.
Mhm.
Come on.
No, that's separate. That's voter registration.
Yeah. So legal women voters asked for 2,000 mail-in ballots, which is nothing. That's like 5 reams of paper, and they said we'll give you 50.
Oh my gosh.
And so the Secretary of State went on to respond to the news saying, we can't afford paper. We can't find any paper. It's like, have you tried Office Depot?
Blatant. God.
Yeah, I mean, have you been to Austin Creative Reuse? There is tons of paper there.
You're not lying. I love Austin Creative
I
Reuse.
do too.
We should bring him a big wheelbarrow full of paper.
We should just bring your craft supplies to the Secretary of State.
We got 8 yards of fake fur at Austin Reuse.
All right, followers of the Supreme Court of the United States mismanagement of the Texas 6-week abortion ban case are credited with the higher court. Plaintiffs feel like the court is avoiding them, denying that there is a problem and that they're getting abandoned in their moment of greatest need. Well, at least we know SCOTUS can really channel what it's like to be a man in an unplanned pregnancy scenario.
Oh,
Because they're avoiding. Did you get it? Was
Yeah,
that
now I get
meta?
it.
Did it come together? All right.
I'm working on it still.
Okay. Only 40% of Texas's rural hospitals offer labor and delivery services, forcing some patients to drive hundreds of miles to give birth. With nurses in short supply, more hospitals are considering cutting those services entirely. That's okay. I can just hold it, said no woman in labor anywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Bring
Okay,
on the
two more.
midwives.
Two more, and then we'll get out of this. Texas Attorney General and creepy dad at the picnic, Ken Paxton, tested positive for COVID-19. So let's think about this. Governor Greg Abbott got it. Our Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick got it. And Attorney General Ken Paxton got it. And they didn't get that sick. So I'm not saying the three of them are actually alien lizard people running our government, but I am saying I want to believe.
Or they're all vaccinated while telling their people, don't worry about the vaccine.
And boosted.
Oh, that was so
Yeah.
wholesome. My thought was they were all at the same orgy together.
I mean, it really is Animal Farm, right? They're writing stuff up on the wall, except for the pigs. All right. And as a final reminder, if you want to say goodbye to Greg, Dan, Sid, and your other favorites this primary season, the last day to register to vote is January 31st. The last day to apply for a ballot by mail, if that even ends up happening, is February 18th. Early voting runs from February 14th to 25th, and Election Day is March 1st. But I know our listeners don't need a reminder because my parents always vote. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Aw.
I do want
Mom
to
and
say,
Dad.
I think it'd be hysterical to see Dan Patrick at an orgy, but he's just like killing the vibe entirely. Like he's got latex gloves on, and he's just like ew, ew the whole time. Like, oh, that would be hilarious.
That's the first sketch we're writing for the live show, Aaron. Dan Patrick kills the vibe. It could be a runner, right? All right,
Well,
Amy, get us out of here.
Wasn't that fabulous? Okay, audience, let me tell you how this podcast works. On tonight's episode, Aaron and Katie are competing against each other for the coveted Most Knowledgeable Comedian in Austin award. Comedians, please be aware that you can each phone a friend 3 times if you're stuck on a question. And by friend, we mean Representative Gene Wu.
But he can't hear me.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to.
I don't know what we're going to have to do.
You're going to have to like put it in the text box or something. This award is given to the comedian who knows the most about Texas politics, according to the outcome of the games on our show. Stephanie, she's got the award. Please show the award. Thank you. Whoever wins gets their picture taken with their special guest, Gene Wu. And he will post the picture on his social media announcing that the winning comedian is the most knowledgeable comedian in Austin. Stephanie, did we ask the representative if he's okay with this?
No, but I tweeted at him, but he was just too busy responding to anti-vaxxers. He never got around to me.
I think it's more like the opposite way. Are you sure you want to be on my feed?
Maybe not. We're going to get a lot of flack.
You may get a lot of new friends that you may not like.
I'm so glad you brought up tweeting, Stephanie. Our guest is a prolific Twitterer. And in fact,
good timing.
Thank you.
I like that.
Was
Wait
one
for
of
the drink.
we
no
rehearsed.
Brooks will approve.
And was one of the first state legislators to send a tweet. Quite an honor.
Oh,
let's
wow.
Let's play our favorite game, Tweets or Twasn'ts. As always, comedians can ask our special guests for help a total of 3 times apiece between the 2 games they play. And Gene, feel free to jump in at any time, but remember, this is Texas, and nobody gets anywhere with any help from anywhere else. All right.
Okay.
Stephanie?
All right, Katie, we're going to go first. You get to go first, Katie. You're competing against Aaron.
Lucky me. I'm one of those big bad people from California, so you have the advantage, Aaron.
Oh.
I don't. I went to school here. I have the disadvantage.
Okay, Katie, you're going to tell me if Gene actually tweeted this or if he didn't. If it wasn't a tweet or twas it.
Okay.
Okay.
I can do this.
All right. Sigh. For the oblivious people in the back of the class, no, there is no paper shortage. They don't want to register new voters because they think it will hurt Republicans. The Secretary of State serves at the pleasure of the governor.
I think that was a real tweet. It was a tweet.
Gene, do you know, or do I need to tell you?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the tweet. Good job, Katie.
Yay!
But I should have you read all my tweets with that inflection. I think more people will get triggered.
Do you have a TikTok channel? I think you might be ideal for that.
My staff has officially threatened to leave in mass if I start a TikTok channel.
Really?
So they get my staff because I do my own Highwire Act. I do get into a lot of trouble. Sometimes we say good trouble, but my staff gets enough hate mail and angry phone calls as it is.
Okay.
Well, if you ever need parody songs from Twitter to make it.
I think I've retweeted your stuff before.
Oh, not mine.
No, I think more.
I think he will now, Katie. I think we've just started right here. All right. Aaron, tweet or twasn't. Anti-vaxxer trolls are getting boring and repetitive. Is there any way for me to incite the ire of flat earthers?
Trying to read his face. And he can't hear me, so he can just assume.
Don't forget, I can't hear Aaron.
And,
Aaron is trying to read your face and discern from you.
He can I could just be discussing the question, but I'm talking shit. So
I laugh at everything.
This is fun.
kind of funny.
It's like
I'm
in an
gonna
isolation
say-
booth.
Twasn't?
Gene, he said it's a twasn't. What's the answer?
I actually tweeted that.
It's a twas.
I make it my business to roil the anti-vaxxers on a daily basis. Even before COVID, this was a fun and pleasurable activity.
The shame in his voice, though, I will say.
Right. I mean, diphtheria, that's like a major immunization that people have been getting for a long time. And
Yep.
yeah. All right.
Anyone who's gone to
Katie.
public school, you've been vaccinated by mandate. You know,
Mhm.
oh, who gets mandates? Oh, you're vaccinated. That's why you're alive right now.
Have you
Mhm.
met someone with polio? No. Exactly.
I think it's
Okay.
coming back.
Katie. Yeah, they're all making a great comeback. Okay, tweet or twasn't. Katie. No. Please. Stop. Don't drink your own piss and still die. Oh well, I tried. Bottoms up. Cheers.
I'm gonna say that was a twasn't, and I'm gonna double my money and say it was from the guy that was on 127 hours. I don't know.
Yeah, get
This
extra
is
points.
actually a tweet. It is still a tweet.
It's
What's the last word? Kanpai? Kanpai?
kampai.
Okay. Which means cheers?
Japanese.
Okay.
In Chinese, we say ganbai,
Going back. Yeah.
like dry cup.
Mhm.
Like
Oh,
bottoms
okay.
up.
Okay. Thank you.
Drink that piss.
I did that a lot in Taiwan.
You-
Well, urine aside, there was I tweeted the other one. I don't want to ruin your bit, but the other new thing that they're
Too
pushing
late.
out is you should be nebulizing hydrogen peroxide.
What?
That's one of the new things that the far right is pushing out. Is like, hey, if you nebulize hydrogen peroxide, it'll clear your lungs. It'll also clear your life.
God,
Oh,
really?
But honestly, I feel like that'd be a
hydrogen
great
peroxide's,
high to go on.
You ever pour hydrogen peroxide on your wound? I see how it starts to bubble and starts to eat
Yeah.
away at the wound, and how it's that's why it hurts.
Mhm.
Imagine that inside your lungs.
No, those little lumps. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Will it look like you have
No.
rabies and just every foam out of your mouth?
You know how to paint a picture, Katie. I like it.
Yeah.
St. Patrick in an
Yes.
orgy, rabies, like you know what you're
So
doing.
Thank you.
my favorite, I mean, like the only silver lining to this whole pandemic is just watching idiots go to work. It's just been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah. I mean, we are doing some.
I mean, literally,
Natural
we
selection here.
there were articles about people getting sick because they went to Tractor Supply and bought a bucket of sheep dip and ate it
No.
because it
Sheep?
contained ivermectin, despite the
Mm.
fact it says on the bucket, not for human consumption.
God.
Uh,
And
Consult
Aaron
your
can't
doctor.
pay his rent, and we can't.
I
get
pay
him
my
to-
rent.
All right, back to Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a little stuck on urine aside.
Tweet or twasn't. I watched Bob Saget's live stand-up routine about 20 years ago. To this day, I still suffer from the trauma of that event. Bless his smutty soul.
I don't know. Gene tweets some wild shit. I I don't think he would tweet this though. I'm gonna say twasn't.
Gene, is it a tweet or twasn't?
Was a tweet.
Jesus Christ!
I think I see a pattern.
I have a soft spot in my heart for Bob Saget. He is an
Love
awful,
it.
awful human being, and I love him for it.
Oh my!
I
what
couldn't
is-
tell from the sentiment if it was pro Bob or anti Bob.
I couldn't tell either.
It's kind of both.
Okay.
Just how Bob would want it, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Kind of embrace the whole human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, Katie, back to you. Tweet or twasn't. I should have been more upfront with you from the beginning. I'd never, ever debate girls like you. In fact, here's a partial list of my no-nos. anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, chemtrailers, Holocaust deniers, climate change hoaxers, 911 truthers. You're all idiots. The end.
I'm gonna say, based on the odds, this is a tweet.
Gene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What inspired this? Someone was picking on you?
I got one of the sort of a anti-vaxxer famous doctor in Houston who basically got fired by Methodist hospital system for spreading COVID misinformation, started coming after me for saying stuff. So there, and all the people are debater. I'm like, we want a public debate. I'm like, we're on effing Twitter. It doesn't get more public than this, right?
Yeah.
If you want to talk about something, talk about it. But you know what? And people just insisted on and I had to have a breakup with her. It's like, I don't really like you that way.
Well, you have
Please
to
stop.
be bad if the Methodists get rid of you.
It got a little stalkery.
Oh, that's scary. Okay, Aaron, final tweet or twasn't.
I swear to God, Stephanie, if you give me the one oddball in here that all of a sudden now it's a twasn't, I'm going to be hurt. Continue.
Wait, are you telling me that a sincere belief that JFK Jr. is not only alive, but is actually coming back to crown Trump the new Messiah, not an instant turn on? That it's not an instant turnout? Outrageous. What's next? You're going to tell me that microchips and vaccines is not a great conversation starter.
I'm going to say it wasn't. God damn it.
Why would you do that? It's
No, hold on. No, I hold
it's
on.
a tweet.
My computer froze. I didn't realize you were done with the question. Tweet.
It is a tweet. They were all tweets.
They're all
I didn't have to write anything. They were that good. They were that good.
This has never
Should be
happened on
tricky.
Twitter, wasn't.
I think my Marvel superpower is just being annoying.
I think maybe during the Over the Ledge live show, we'll just have Gene come read his tweets between each.
Instead
right?
of
I
like
think it'll
Jimmy
be-
Kimmel mean tweets, it's just
Yeah.
Gene's tweets.
Yeah.
Reading people's mean tweets to me is also hilarious.
I love that.
Well,
Did you have to keep the same hours as Donald Trump when he was the president to counteract his tweets?
No, I did not tweet that much. That was actually quite impressive.
Okay, and I do want to say that all these tweets are within the last 6 weeks. I did not have to dig. I did not have to dig far.
Many of them
to get
were
a
from the
lot of
last
these.
day.
All right, Amy. I don't know if let's put a pause on that last point for Aaron because he said no.
Well,
But then-
technical difficulties. Tonight's a weird
Right.
night, you know?
All right, we're just gonna.
I mean,
see.
technically, I can't even use my get out of jail free card to call Gene. He can't even hear me.
We will relay
We
it for
can-
you.
It's not the
yes.
same.
Okay.
Is he cussing me out?
Katie is trouncing Aaron either 2-0 or 2-something.
Okay. All right.
You could at least fake the one, Amy.
Katie, I hope you're ready for all the trolls that are going to be on your Twitter feed.
Just wait till we post your picture.
Our special guest is a major advocate for protecting children. You'd think that all legislators would be for the children, but you'd be wrong. Let's learn about Texas children's well-being in the foster care system with a game called OMG, don't you know the children are our future? WTF are you doing, people?
Oh,
Stephanie?
no.
Excellent. Okay. This is going to be a multiple choice question. Thank you
Okay.
for saying that all correctly. Katie,
Yes.
what is the name of the agency/department that protects children and vulnerable adults from abuse, neglect, and exploitation?
I believe that would be CPS or Child Protective Services. Is there a families in there for?
Can
Old
you
people?
go up? That's a sub part of the larger
Oh.
agency. And actually, I realized that I never wrote in other answers for this question than the actual one. So
Ooh.
we're going to skip to question 2. I'm just going to tell you the answer. That was the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
Oh, I know that DFCS. I watched
Oh, yeah.
Shameless. That they bring that up a lot because they're bad parents.
This is my wheelhouse. So
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. So, Katie, true or false? You can search online for children waiting for adoption in Texas.
That is, I want to say false. If I
It
don't
is
answer.
true. It is
What?
actually true. Yes. And I did a search in Austin. 41 girls came up. And when I left all the fields blank, 1,000 children are
Can I
currently
ask
Is
a
that like
available.
a HIPAA violation or something against their privacy?
Gene?
no, they kids are asking to be adopted.
Oh, I guess
Um,
that's fair.
Yeah.
It's like a date. It's almost, it feels creepy.
In fact, to get a serious moment here. In fact, we there are organizations. I'm blanking on the name. It's something like Hearts Portraits or something like that, where they try to get professional artists and professional photographers to come take nice pictures of the
that's so
kids
sweet.
and put them on the website and put them Hearts Gallery, put them in places so that the pictures would be nicer, so people would be more likely to adopt the kids.
Oh,
It's a very nice
that's
thing.
lovely. Aaron
And-
said that was terrible, but I said that was very lovely.
Oh, Katie, you are becoming abusive in this.
You
Aaron
actually
said he
said
doesn't like when children get adopted.
Were you going to say something, Aaron?
No, I was just like, my initial thought was similar to Katie's. Like, it feels exploitative, like, but at the same time, like, that's how you say, like, hey, these children are wanting to be adopted. So how else do you like kind of get the news out there? So like, that was my initial thought too. I was like, that feels weird. But then Gene kind of explained it a little bit more. I was like, okay, cool, I get it. That's more power to it. I love that idea. That's a beautiful charity.
We'll put the link in our show notes when we do the podcast. I'll say that it felt there like, oh my God, you have to shop for them. They have to sell themselves. We live in a world where we don't just adopt children immediately. They have to be like, hi, I like coloring long walks in the park and I only take 3 medication. You know, like what the? All right.
Yeah.
Aaron, next question. Which of the following are not one of the basic requirements to be a foster or adoptive parent? Hint, there may be more than one of these. So as long as you guess one that is not a
You make it look
requirement.
bad when I get it wrong.
Okay. You must be at least 21 years of age, financially stable, and responsible mature adults. B, prove they've never had abortion or miscarriage. C, complete an application. D, share information regarding their background and lifestyle. There are a lot of these. Get ready. E, provide relative and non-relative references. A, B, C, D. Okay. And F, commit to caring for the child as if it were their own biological child.
And ask the question again, which of these is not a requirement?
Is not a basic requirement.
What was B?
Prove they've never had an abortion or miscarriage.
Is this specifically for Texas?
Yes.
Damn. Well, no, I feel like that's still, I want to say B.
You're correct.
Okay.
And the
What's
other
the
one
other
is you don't have to commit to caring for the child as if it were your own.
Oh, as your own.
Oh, but
As
that's
your own.
as a foster parent, correct?
This is either if you want to foster or adopt, there are several basic requirements.
Interesting.
And there are
I'll-
more than I gave you, but
I'll be
It's
honest,
actually-
I
it's
am a
actually
little surprised that
pretty
you can be
lengthy process
21
to
and
become a
adopt.
foster parent.
Oh, sorry.
Gene was saying it's actually a lengthy process.
Yeah, I've heard it's several months, but I'm very surprised that you can be 21 and adopt. I don't know why I'd feel like it'd be older, like 25, like so that you're more established. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
that
women
I'm
can
very
be
surprised.
21, but men need to be 47 so that the maturity levels even out.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I can't argue against that.
Yeah.
Okay, Katie, what is the minimum daily amount to be reimbursed to a foster family for a child with basic needs? So like your basic child, not special needs, no disabilities. What is the minimum daily amount to be reimbursed? You get choices. $101.33 a day, $27.97 a day, $58.53 a day, or $17.76 a day.
Ooh. So my gut is going to the 58 number, but I think I'm gonna phone my friend for this one.
Okay. Jean, do you feel like you can help her?
This is direct to the foster or to the CPA, to the child placing agency.
The foster to the family themselves.
I mean, I'm thinking the 100, the first one. What was the number?
101.33. B is 27.97. C is 58.53, and D is 17.76.
Yeah, it's either 100 or 50. I don't really know.
I'll trust Jean.
Okay,
You
you're
still gotta
wrong.
make a choice,
You're wrong either way. It's 27.97
For
And
basic
that's-
care?
for basic
day.
care per day. So that's $840 a month.
Mm.
And I put this in here so when people are like, "Oh, you're just a foster family for the money," $840 whole dollars.
Yeah, I don't got kids, but I know what I was like when I was growing up, and I can guarantee that's not enough. Jesus.
Okay, so here's a bonus question, Katie. How much do state legislators make per day during session as an additional per diem to their salary?
Oh. Per diem? I don't know. So that's the amount of money they can spend on food while they're in session a day?
And housing.
Mhm.
Oh, and housing. Oh, okay. I'm gonna say like $3,000.
A
No,
day?
per day. Per day.
Oh, I guess not a day. Yeah, you're right.
But would it be surprising?
I'm thinking like $100 there just thinking for meals. So maybe like $250 a day.
That's really close. It's $221 a day.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I wouldn't. I knew it was two something.
yeah. So comparatively, $850 a month to a family to take care of a child, $6,630 a month for your state representative.
That's crazy.
I'm
Now
not
Yeah,
wonder
saying
they're
anything.
going to Perry's every lunch.
Yeah,
Oh,
kids
those are
just
paid
eat
for by
I would
McDonald's.
pay for those. No state reps ever paid to go to Perry's.
All right, Aaron. In 2020, how many children in Texas were in foster care? 10,213, 47,913, 78,527, or 23,301. This is 2020 children in foster care. And keep in mind that if they're in foster care, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily waiting to be adopted. They could be going back to their family after.
Right.
You're just talking about removals.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Real quick sidebar. Does Jean have Emmys?
I don't know. What are those things? Are those Emmys? They're probably his wife's. Wow.
Do you really have Emmys?
I think
Can
it's
somebody
I claim
ask
them
him?
as my own since they're in my office.
I think his wife is a newscaster, journalist, doctor,
Yes, she's a reporter.
reporter.
Wow.
Okay. Big
Is
flex.
Aaron still working on it?
No,
No.
that was my question. Well,
He's saying awesome, big flex. Are they really
I
made
don't
of
know
gold?
what- I'm trying to see if I have anything cool up here. I have comic books.
Any
have,
originals?
The box to my computer CPU, Ryzen 9. It's impressive to the nerds, all right?
tell him
All right.
I have an i9 9900K.
Aaron says he has an I-999.9K.
Nice.
Yeah, see,
Did you
communicate
build it
even when we're
yourself?
not talking.
Did you build it yourself, Aaron?
I did.
He did.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, look,
Virtual,
we're making
virtual high five. Virtual high five.
We're bonding even though we can't talk. Ask him to answer the question for me.
Oh, okay. He wants your help on this question, Gene. In 2020, how many children?
Normally, removals are around 30,000 a year, but because of COVID, we removed fewer kids. So I'm going to say the 23,000 number.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was 47,913 in 2020.
In 2020?
That's what.
Removals or investigations?
I Googled how many children in Texas were in foster care. and
maybe
that
some of
number-
them were already in there from the year before, and you're talking
Yeah.
about new removals, and she's talking about in.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Sorry.
Gene has 2 Emmys behind him, so I
Sorry.
think I should get like 2 points.
At least.
Yeah.
Okay, Katie, back to you.
Wait, what do I do about that one?
He didn't get it.
no,
Yeah,
sorry.
but
I'm
the
useless.
question was a little.
Let's put another asterisk by it and we'll revisit. If
My whole being has an asterisk by it.
okay, let's give it
I
to
mean,
Aaron.
we're
Let's
all
give
gonna
it.
be depressed after this
That's right.
anyways.
I tried so hard. I was like, how can I make this funny or at least just educational or to inspire? I hope I am inspiring listeners to foster and adopt. That's
Yes.
what my hope is that one person does that. Okay. In 2019, Katie, how many children in Texas were waiting to be adopted? And so that means that parental rights are terminated. They're not going back to their family. They are ready for adoption. Is it? I'm going to give you the ranges, not the exact number. Around 3,000, around 45,000, around 10,000, or around 28,000.
I'm gonna say the 10,000 number. I'm thinking maybe a third of them from the foster care system have to be adopted.
Okay, close. It's lower. It's the 3,000 number.
Oh, well, that's good. Glad to
So we
hear
had
that.
47,000 in the system and 3,000 waiting for adoption. Okay, I feel the energy getting lower. I want to take us even lower. Okay. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of history. So on March 29th, 2011, Children's Rights, a national advocacy group against the governor of Texas, alleging that the DFPS was unconstitutional, arguing that children's rights were being violated, those rights being that they would not be harmed while in state custody, and then their right to reconcile with their family. So which of the following statements have not been said about the foster care system in Texas by important people during these trials, which is not an accurate quote? So the first one is, I do feel like I'm failing children. The second one is, it's like a Dickensian placement. I saw a picture of one with a plywood toilet in the corner of a room. 3, we have more beds than we do children who need safe, loving homes. The children we place are 100% happy, 98% safe, and 95% likely to find permanent homes, go to college, and have stable adult lives. #winning. Or, oh, for God's sake, I just don't understand this incompetence. You don't know where the children are. Now we know today, 11 years into this lawsuit, that no one knows where these children are placed. I'm just speechless. You are the parent. I don't want to hear that IT is still working on it. Which one of those quotes do you think does not accurately describe DFPS?
Does not.
Does not.
See? Wait, hold on. I'm not answering that. Oh, yes, C.
Yes, you're right. The one that's like, we have more beds than we do children. Yeah, no,
Good
that's
one.
all a lie. That's all a lie. Jean, do you want to tell us, can you summarize the lawsuit any better?
It was a suit basically saying that just that the children who are in foster care, their constitutional rights are being violated because of the just general lack of care that they're getting in CPS. That kids who are aging out are not being supported, so that when they become adults and age out of the system, that there's nothing going on, and they're just not ready to be adults. There's kids like who are being bounced from foster home to foster home without any real concern about the damage it's causing, and there's like a plethora, a myriad of things that that it involves. I mean, there's probably, we can do a whole like 2 or 3 hours on just that alone.
Oh, good. Let's get started. Yeah, and it's been, I mean, it was ruled unconstitutional. It's been 10 years and it's not better. Amy, how are our points anywhere close?
Well,
If you count my Emmys,
Yeah.
they're basically 3-3 based on that little bonus question Katie got in game 2.
Okay.
But if you give Aaron that little sort of half point for that one he pretended he didn't hear, then he squeaks in front.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna ask 2 more questions.
just give the man just let the man win. Come on.
Let them. You're right.
This is Texas after all.
Okay, we're playing this Price is Right style. This last question. How many foster children are currently placed in out-of-state facilities? And I was shocked to learn that we don't even have enough facilities in Texas for our foster kids. We literally ship them to other states. So how many children are currently placed in out-of-state facilities? And I'm just going to do Price is Right style, and I'll tell you that it's between 0 and 1,000.
705.
Okay.
706.
The answer is 100. So Katie, you win. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Now, granted, some of those kids are out of state because they're in specialized facilities. A lot of times for different types of mental health issues, or kids that have been sexually victimized. The state doesn't necessarily have the facilities that are here and have enough spaces to do those specialized treatments, and so they get sent to the state pays a lot of money to pay for them to go to out of state facilities.
Okay. Well, you ruined
Just
my
as long
narrative.
as they don't
but
go
thank
to
you.
Oklahoma.
But your narrative still fits because, like, why don't we have? Why doesn't the second largest, third largest state in the nation have those facilities and have enough space?
Yeah.
Why do we have? Yeah. So what I hope you walked away with from this really fun game we just played called "Oh my God, the children are our future. What the fuck are we doing?" is there are children out there right now who need you and your love as a foster parent or adoptive parent, and let's meet them where they're at, and then we can go and work on the policies that get people in the system at all. And our winner is Amy.
Katie Felton is the most knowledgeable comedian in Austin. Can you not hear me? Katie.
Yay!
Yay!
I did it. Not all Californians are bad.
So can Katie and Jean kind of high five each other awkwardly, and Tom will kind of take a picture, and they won. All right.
This is really a depressing episode.
I'm so sorry. Let's go back to some tweets or twasn't. Well, I thought it was important. It is important to talk about.
That was good. No, thank you for doing that. I mean, that's really important. More people need to be foster parents. And part of why we have kids sleeping in office buildings is because there's no space for them. It's not that CPS wants to put them in office buildings, is that there's no facility for them. There's no houses for them. There's no homes to take them in. It's hard for them to place older kids. And just like, you're asking, like, why do kids have to put themselves out to get adopted, well, those are almost all older kids. Like babies go like that. Like babies, it doesn't matter if they have like immense medical issues. Their parents had, we know that the parents have mental health issues. It doesn't matter. Babies get snatched up like nothing. But older kids have a really hard time getting adopted. The older they are, the harder it is for them to get adopted. And we need more people to be generous and open their homes and take in some kids.
Yeah. Amy, I think we're going to skip the introduction. I'm just going to start. Or let's go. Let's do the introduction because I want to call him Sassy. Go for it.
Okay, yes. If you think these words Stephanie wrote, see. Thoughts and prayers, right? I mean, if legislators could do something, I'm sure they would have done it because children. So what else can we do? If you think these words Stephanie wrote for me are sassy or that Stephanie is sassy, you haven't met Gene Wu yet. He is the 2021 Sassiest Legislator of the Year, according to Over the Ledge. Welcome again, Representative Gene Wu.
Yay. We need to do actual awards. Let's write that down. We got that in our spare time, Tom. All right, Representative Gene, thank you for joining us. I hope this is sort of like what you expected. Will you tell the audience a little about what brought you to the legislature in the first place?
Public policies is sort of always been my blood. I have a master's of public policy, and I'm that weird guy. I'm not really super into sports. And on Sunday, I'd sit down and read a white paper on prison reform.
That's racist.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I know what a white
and
paper is.
that's what I do. I mean, I always describe it as when I was in college, I was an RA, and I think all people who are RAs instantly understand. They're like, oh yeah, I get it now. And I just kind of like taking care of people. I like helping out the community. I like making sure people are okay. And I want to make sure that people's lives are better than it were. Their lives are better than they were before last year.
What are some of the unique problems in the district that you represent, and will you describe it for us?
Sure. I mean, I'm pretty representative of my district. I mean, I've lived there for my family's been here for almost 40 years. And this is the most immigrant heavy, most apartment heavy district in the state. I'm 85% apartments. Nobody comes close.
Oh, wow.
The next highest district is in the low 60s. So I have the bulk of the refugees. I have Afghani refugees. I have Syrian refugees. I have Iraqi refugees. I had a big Burmese refugee population. 40% of the adults in my district, including myself, were not born in this country. Right? I immigrated here. I'm a naturalized citizen. 80% of my district speaks a language speaks a language other than English. So that might be with English or without English. So, unlike most other districts, my district is majority Hispanic. But unlike most other majority Hispanic districts, my district is not majority Mexican. They're majority Central American. I have Guatemalans, Hondurans, Salvadorians, and they all have their own little enclaves. So, and I also have the lowest voter turnout of any district in the state.
Oh, geez.
Partially
well,
because
there are apartments, right? They're moving all the time.
Apartments, immigrants, people who work hourly, people who have the highest need but the smallest voice.
What tactics do you use to communicate with your fellow representatives who don't have the same kind of district as you in a way so that you can advocate for your district? So, for example, McAllen, where my boss is from, right, it's 98% Mexican American. They're predominantly all white. It's a very different looking district. How do you convince him that you need a certain policy for your people?
Well, I don't really legislate specifically for my district.
How dare you?
But what I tell people is, I do actually a lot for rural communities, and I ask a lot of questions. I advocate a lot for rural communities because, and this is what I say all the time: is look, poor is poor, right? It doesn't matter if you're poor in a small rural town and you're white, or you're poor and you're Hispanic, or you're poor and you're Black, or you're poor and you're Asian. Poor is poor. And poor people need the same things. We need education, we need health care, we need jobs that actually pay a living wage. We need all these things. And it doesn't matter where you're from. Poor is poor. And let's fix that.
So why aren't we fixing it?
Because, I don't know, because socialism, because communism, because, right? We love our public schools, and we love our public roads. We love our public universities. We love all these things that we have, but we're against doing other public services because it's socialism, it's communism, I don't know what it is. And, I work in the CPS realm. My day job is I'm an attorney for CPS kids, and I'm an attorney for kids who are in trouble. And I will tell you overwhelmingly, 99.99% of those kids are poor, right? They're poor, they're traumatized. Many of them have undiagnosed or untreated mental illness, behavioral issues, severe childhood trauma. And instead of us fixing it and dealing with it and helping them and making sure that they actually can go see a doctor about their trauma, we don't help them out, and they go smoke weed instead in order so they can sleep at night, and then they hang out with the kids that that mess with them, and that's what we end up with.
I don't know what to say to that, so I'm just thinking. Let's switch topics. Talk to me about going to DC. What was that like?
It was okay. It was not fun. I don't know. I'm not trying to, nobody needs to boo-hoo us. But, we had been away from our families dealing with the regular session for months on end. And, like, I'm sure like many other members, like I don't make money unless I'm here. So if I'm not in court, I don't bill hours. I don't make any money. And, I burned through my savings while we were in DC because I'm not making money. And I wasn't making money during session, right? Which I prepare for, but we were not prepared for an additional months of just being away. It's hard. I mean, not being able to see our families. My kids, unfortunately, we were able to have them come up for a little bit. And I got to see him for like a weekend, but it is what it is. But we thought it was important enough that we had to do it. And you look around right now. I mean, Fort Bend, 50% of their mail-in ballots are being rejected. Austin, 50% of their mail-in ballots are being rejected. And those are Democrats and Republicans, right?
Right.
And I said this when we were in DC. I said this when we were in DC over and over again. We're not fighting for Democrats. We're fighting for everyone. We're here away from our families, away from our jobs, away from just life, because we think it's important enough that we don't let them pass this bill, because so many people, Republicans and Democrats, will be disenfranchised. And we told them about this exact thing, right? This is one of the points. This part of the mail-in ballot. We had a huge fight about this. This was a huge contentious part. This is a part of the lawsuit.
And just for our audience, you're talking about needing to show your social security number or your driver's license number. Okay.
Needing to guess whether you registered with your social security number or your driver's license number. Now, if you're a mail-in ballot voter, you're usually elderly. And you might have registered 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Do you remember what you registered with?
My Blockbuster card.
Yeah. And so if you put down a number and you guess wrong, your ballot is rejected. So, I mean, so it's one or the other. So if you want to know why it's 50% rejection rate in these
Just people
counties,
guess, yeah.
it's because 50% of the people guessed one of the two wrong.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
It's a
more math.
50-50 shot. And we said this from the very beginning. You're making people make a 50-50 guess, and you will reject. You're going to kick out 50% of the voters.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I think their logic is, well, we think Republicans will have more resources, Republican voters will have more resources, and therefore will be able to cure their errors faster than Democrats.
Okay.
We'll see about that. We'll
So
see how those 85, 90-year-old Republicans, when their mail ballot gets kicked back to them, let's see what they do.
My understanding right now is that, at least here in Travis County, that our clerk, Dana DeBovar, could not communicate effectively with the Secretary of State. So she does not know what the answer is. And that advocates here are saying you need to fill out the new form and enter both your social security number and your driver's license number and send it back again.
That's not what the law calls for. The law literally says you put one or the other. So, I want to see, like, all this talk about, like, how can we fix it? All this, we've already had this discussion. Like, this entire fiasco was intended. It was intended that there is no solution. Like, this is planned. Like, this is exactly what Republicans intended to do when they passed this bill. They knew, we told them point blank, hey, if someone puts the wrong thing, how can they fix it?
Big caucus fans, I guess.
So I guess we'll see. We'll see who have the resources.
So
And
right now, I think the only thing that can save us is probably the courts. And hopefully the courts will see what's going on and say, like, hey, you can't do this.
The court, but will it have to do the same thing that the 6-week abortion ban gone through, right? It goes to
I don't
federal,
know.
state, up, down. Okay.
So, I don't want people to be disenfranchised, but, the only way the Republicans will ever learn to not do this is if this actually ends up hurting them. Right.
Will you talk also? It sounds like we have two problems, right? One is the by mail applications, and then the other is paper registration to vote forms.
Yeah.
Why do we still do it by paper in Texas?
Because the Republicans want it that way. I mean, literally, there has been a bill to create online voter registration ever since I was elected. For a decade now, since I've been in the legislature, I know of at least one bill, and sometimes many bills filed to create online voter registration. And even one time, it was even carried by the Republican chair of the Elections Committee, and it could not get a hearing in her own committee. And that's how much Republicans are committed to making sure that it's hard to vote, it's hard to get registered, and we can find any reason to kick you off.
I wonder if we could argue that knowing your social security number or your driver's license number is like a poll tax. It's like a quiz.
Yeah, actually, I tweeted it out today.
High five. So can we sue?
It's not that it creates like a backdoor poll tax, right? Because it increases the amount of effort you need to do. It increases the amount of resources and time you need to expend. And we always say, time is money, right? And opportunity is money. And so what you do is you create a process that's very confusing, and it's likely to trigger an event where you would have to take corrective action. And corrective actions take time, it takes effort, it takes understanding. Somebody tweeted out at me, it's like, look, hey, I did this for my 91-year-old grandpa, and we called the clerk's office. It was no big deal. We called the clerk's office. They had to walk us through it, and we made sure it was right, and we turned it back in. I'm like, you just described an incredibly lengthy process to repair something that wasn't broken. I mean, how many of the hundreds of thousands of elderly, of disabled, of hearing and sight impaired people who vote in Texas by mail, do they all have people to help them? Do all their clerk's offices have someone who can take the I don't know how much time it takes to walk them through the application and make sure it's correct? Do they even know what the correct thing is? Because one of the things is you have to guess whether you registered with your social security number or driver's license number. If you guess wrong, it's rejected. Does the clerk's office even know which one you registered with?
Yeah, how would they know? And I think another important thing to point out here too is we fill out a paper application to vote, and then we pay somebody to work for the state to type it into a system.
Right.
That you could, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars paying people to do work that the voter.
And then they will reject it if they can't read a letter right. If you write your name and say, let's say your handwriting's not the best because you have Parkinson's, maybe because you're elderly, maybe because English is not your first language, and you write your name in and it's not quite right. The A looks a little off and they read it as an E. Well, too bad, you don't get to vote. Right?
That's worse than I realized.
Okay.
What I always want to say is, like, you know what? Maybe we should explain this in a way that Republicans can understand. Like, what if we say, like, you know what? You can only buy guns once every 2 years. And you have to fill out these applications. And if you get one thing wrong, we say, sorry, you have to come back in another 2 years.
That's
Right?
good.
I love it. I look forward to that being part of your legislative package next session.
Mhm.
Let's try to have a little bit of fun here at the end. We know that you are a twit. I'm sorry, a tweeter. I understand that you love Costco and that you play a lot of video games. So what's your Twitch handle and what do you like to play?
I don't. I'm not on Twitch. Maybe I should be. I don't know. No, I play old stuff. I play a game called Crossout.
Pac-Man.
Oh no, that's a little
Space Invaders.
Don't try to age me.
I'm aging me.
I grew up under Nintendo. Okay, I grew up at least with a Super Nintendo. That's my childhood. I was around an Atari, but it wasn't really my jam. I sort of like was a teenager under the supervision of Mario and Sega Genesis.
Okay.
What was I playing? I play a game called Crossout. It's just like I have to play games that are relatively fast to get in and out because I don't have a lot of spare time.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing Fallout 4. But I mean, I've been playing. I mean, this has been out for like a decade. But, I like to go back and play stuff again.
That last one got a reaction from Aaron over there.
Hey,
what do you play, Aaron? We'll repeat it.
Right now I've been on a big Breath of the Wild kick.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
nice.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
It's arguably best game ever made, and it's just beautiful and zen, and there's cute little things that happen.
Do either one of you play The Witcher?
Yes, I have.
I do not. I haven't just gotten around to it.
I am loving the Netflix show. I did it. I tried to watch it about a year ago, and I was like, "Oh, please!" But then for some reason, now it spoke to me. Say that again.
It's a great game. Got very, very highly recommended. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah,
and then tell us about your Costco love. I understand. White button ups.
I do a lot of shopping at Costco.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a family to feed, and the price is right and it's convenient, and they pay their people well. They have good labor policies. They try to stock things that are environmentally responsible and
Really?
and don't come from companies that are terrible actors. At least to the extent that they can. So, if you it's like the opposite of boycotts. If you support what a company's doing, go shop there, right?
Yeah.
To
But-
piggyback off that,
I never
Costco
have
now
to.
sells.
I never have to complain about Costco treating their workers unfairly, and that counts for something in these days.
Ask
Aaron, what were you
Gene-
saying?
Ask Gene if he's tried the Girl Scout cookie Thin Mint pretzels from
Have
from
you
Costco?
tried the Girl Scout cookie Thin Mint
Pretzels
pretzel at
from
Costco?
Costco.
That's
I
Aaron's
have
question.
not seen that.
Oh,
but-
he loves it. He loves
Okay.
it.
So good.
I
I'll
did.
have to look
I've
for it.
eaten. My next door neighbor, she is a Girl Scout. She's 47, which is weird, but she sold me two. I've already eaten 2 boxes of Thin Mints.
Those are my
Man,
favorite too.
I've
Thin
already
Mint.
shoved them in my face.
Put them in the freezer.
The other big thing, Costco, especially the Costco's in our area, is that they're very actively marketing to Asian community. So they stock a lot of Asian friendly products. They have they sell mooncakes during the holidays.
Yeah.
They have mochi. My wife tears those up,
Oh,
little
yeah.
mochi desserts.
I love mochi.
I just
We
bought
have
a
them here,
big
too.
pack of an unnecessarily large pack of durian cakes.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys know what durians are. Like Google
Okay.
it. Like durians.
Okay.
Is that a
super,
Star Wars
super
cake?
stinky. Like
Okay.
Super.
so in the legislature, not this session, but the last session, I brought some of those to the legislature, and I got a bunch of the members down, and I cut them up pieces of the durian cake, and I made them eat it as a challenge. And you have to look it up. Like durian,
Durian.
Burin, yeah. So if you're used to the smell, you're okay with it. It's
Mung
delicious.
bean.
No, it's not mung bean. Like it's
Okay.
mixed with mung bean.
A lot
It's-
of
it's-
Asian sweets have that bean paste, and it's really good.
Yeah. But the durian itself is it's very, very aromatic. People who don't like it describe it in a number of nasty ways, and so it was funny. I cut up pieces and say, "All right, who wants to do this?" And so members tried it. And I'm not going to name names, but one
Oh,
member,
come on.
it didn't he was talking shit the entire time. Like, I got this. You got nothing on me. I got this down. It did not stay in his mouth more than maybe a half a second. It went in and straight back out.
Briscoe Kane. That was
No.
I can tell by your description.
If I'm not mistaken, Adam Zimmern, who did the
So anyway,
the
I like
TV
Costco.
show.
Also really like HEB.
All right.
And Charles Butts throws a lot of money into public education,
Mhm.
into supporting things like that, supporting candidates who support, good public sector causes.
Aaron, what were you asking?
No, yeah, I was saying Adam Zimmern, who did Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern. He covered the durian fruit, and he's got a very good video about it.
Okay, so apparently Adam Zimmerman, who eats weird things, covered the durian fruit and has a video about it.
That's why I knew about it.
That's why Aaron knew about it.
But Aaron, you also work for HEB, right? So
I used to long time ago. I got
He
hired
was
there
like
when I
the
was 16.
chef. He was the hello, and now I'm using a little bit. This is how Aaron talks, a little bit of this. All right.
Exactly. Just what Stephanie's
Final
saying.
thing, Representative. Thank you for being here and being so open and honest. Tell us if there were one thing we could say to our friends who don't pay that much attention to politics, but with the right conversation, what should we be talking to our friends about why they should participate right now?
I think that all the things that we've taken for granted for the past 50 years, from women's reproductive health to civil rights to just anything you can think of, you name it, you think we've moved forward and we'll never go back, we're about to go back. and it's because people don't pay enough attention. There's always an equal and opposite force that pushes the other way, and if you sit there and do nothing, if we allow it to happen, it's going to happen. And so if you don't want it to happen, start pushing the other direction. Get out there and do something.
That's what we're doing. All right. Thank you so
Amen.
much. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, Amy, take us
All
home.
right. Thank you so much to our special guests, Representative Jean Wu and comedian Katie Felton. Representative, where can people find you next? Are you going to be speaking or
I don't know. I'll be on Twitter.
on Twitter? That's the best place to catch him.
At
And
Gene for
I will
Texas. Gene for
I'm going to
Texas.
be at home taking care of my family and just trying to enjoy life outside of session, because this year's an election year. We'll have to do, even though I'm relatively unopposed. I have a libertarian opponent, but still have to go and work and make sure other people get elected and take care of all those other things.
great. And
Thank you.
Katie, where can people find you on social media and where are you performing next?
Instagram at the handle at K, the letter 8E Felt. I post about my shows there quite often, and then I am hosting a show next week at 8:00 at Last Stand Brewing on South Congress. So if you're in the Austin area, come check it out. It's going to be really fun. It's comedy and a lip sync battle at the end. So
That sounds
yeah,
fun.
Is it outdoors or indoors?
it's indoors, but in a warehouse, and the tables are fairly spread out.
Great.
Thank you.
Aaron, are you going to be performing?
I was trying to think. I don't think so. I think I'm kind of chilling out. I might try and do some storytelling events here and there, but I think I'm just trying to chill out since Omicron is so Omicron-y right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And thank you to our Over the Ledge benevolent empress, Stephanie Chiarello. Thank you to our sound engineer, Tom Booker. Just remember, Tom Booker loves you.
Hi, Tom.
And that's our show. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours. Like it's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now TikTok as at Over the Ledge.
And
Thank
thank you, Amy
you.
Lowry, for guiding us through this episode. And a second thank you to our sponsors, Mom and Dad. We couldn't do this without you. All right. Thank you. Bye,
Yay.
everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.